Hey, Dr. Zeus. Good morning, everybody. Taking the morning walk before I go to work. Walking around the property with my dog. Trying to help him with his aging hips. He turned 13 in January, and I've just noticed a big change in him. Today is a really good day for him. He's walking nicely. He's walking upright. But for a couple of weeks there, he could not support himself on his hind legs without having to sit periodically. But something's happened. I don't know if it's the medication that I'm giving him for the pain or what. But I've also been trying to lean him up so it's not so much weight on his rear. Anyway, I'll let him sit there and play a little bit, and I'll give you all an update. So I've been giving you updates about the tax business and the investment property, and I haven't given you any updates on the property itself, or very few rather. So let me show you what's going on over here. So if you remember from one of my very first videos a year ago, I talked about the fact that I have a chicken coop on this property. And this is a chicken coop. We've been working on it. There are some old straw or some kind of pine needles or something and old chicken poop inside. And so I've been taking my time clearing this out, and a couple of friends came and helped me clean it out too. So let's see what's going on. We got a lot more to go. Yes. We got a lot more to go. This stuff was packed up high. So I have 2 men coming to help me finish this out this weekend. We're just going to clean it all out, disinfect it, and get it ready for the new ones. But if I should have taken a before picture so you can see just how high all of this stuff was before. But the previous owner, left it in pretty good condition. It has everything that it needs. The thermometer, place for them to sleep. Got my heat lamps. What else we got over here? Yeah, there's the door. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot more to get this up and running before I put my new chickens in there. So that's going on there. And in the meanwhile, I've been talking to different people who raise chickens on their property, and I've asked one of them if I could film their chicken coop in the area where they raise their chickens, and they agreed to. So look forward to that one. That's coming up excuse me, in about 2 weeks. But it's been fun. I've had people out here clearing away. I've been out here, they've been out here just clearing away more of this brush. I don't know if you remember, if you see out there the part that's green, so all of this right here that's covered with leaves, that was all cut away, because what I'm about to do is put up some barriers here that are going to help contain some of the animals that I'm bringing. I'm going to bring in some goats, and we were trying to plot out like the best space to put them. Once I started really examining the land, I realized, there are lots of irregularities. Excuse me. So like the only flat land I have is in the back, and we'll go out there in a moment. But right here, you'll see there's a drop off. Okay, I don't know if you can tell from the video, there's a drop off. And that drop off is the barrier between my land and the man who lives further down the road. You can kind of see his house, that little white speck is his house there. And then there's the road on the other side of his house. Excuse me. So it's coming along. It's just been some work. I wanted to just dive right in and start setting up fences and barriers, but you got to clear stuff away first, and we've been doing it. Okay, let's go over here. So I had more compost brought in and more soil. We're about to make more above ground planting boxes to join those over there. And this is the walkway. You may have seen in another video. I'm trying to create these connecting walkways throughout the property because there's so much ruggedness, and I want to be able, you know, as I get older, to walk on it easily. Plus, you know, I'm getting visitors from older people and they have a difficult time. Like my cousin, who's 76 years old, pulled up, she parked over there, and then before I put these pavers down, which by the way are not completed, she's had a hard time. She almost fell several times coming down this grass. And the only other way to get into this backyard is across there. There's another parking pad over there and a fence to go through. But that's pretty unstable too. So I just realized I needed to level some ground out and put in some walkways to make the homestead a little more amenable to the knees. So this propane tank was not here before, and that's because this pool heater was not here before. So I noticed that they did not use the right metal here. I'm going to have to paint this, but this is a Hayward 250,000 BTU propane pool heater, and in another video I'm going to talk about like how much pain I went through just to get this pool heater in. If you look at that power box right there, it took a lot to get that in. If you look on the ground here, I don't know if you can tell, like right there, this area that's kind of beaten down into the ground, this is where some wires were run into the shed, and then from the shed to the side of the house. So we added another 120 amp power box. There's a big backstory behind all of that pain, and it cost me about, I would say, an additional $3,000 that it should not have cost me, because I had the wrong person working on this project who pretended to be a licensed electrician. We're going to talk about that. Anyway, I got it done. It was just through a lot of pain. So there's the propane heater I wanted to add to the homestead. Here's the propane tank. Getting the pool together. I've almost gotten all of the leaves out. I have to get out a few more. The Polaris is having a hard time. I don't know what's going on. Need to get that serviced. But it's coming along slowly. This is a work in progress, because I did not use the pool all winter as I had intended to, because I didn't have a pool heater, and then leaves fell into it. I didn't put the cover on it because I didn't want to, and so this is what I have to deal with, but it's coming along. All right, I'm getting ready to post another set of videos that talks about how I got this free hot tub from my friend, and what I had to go through to get it here and get it wired there to that power box on the right. The one on the left is where I'm going to attach my sauna. The sauna's going to go up there. So I was talking to my dad the other day, and he was like, She said, I've been watching homesteading videos. I said, yeah. He said, a lot of people who are homesteading, they're starting from scratch. I said, yes. I said, I started from scratch years ago. And when I was younger, and when I was married. So I don't think I want to start from scratch right now. But I do want to make this homestead self-sufficient. So that's why I'm excited about getting my greenhouse put up. We're just going to go out there in that area. I'm excited about the planting, and I'm also excited about just making the homestead comfortable. Like when you're out building and digging and lifting, you get a lot of sore joints. So it's just nice to be able to come back to your backyard and kind of soak in the hot tub, or sit in the sauna, go to the pool when you feel like it. It's a work in progress. But there's lots of things that I want to do. This is my septic, where my septic system is. We did some digging here too to put in some wiring. But there's lots of things that have to be done when you're planning stuff like this out. This space used to be a dog run for the previous owner, and I don't want to make it a dog run. Even though I'm getting a second dog, I want something different over here, and I just have to figure it out. I don't know if I want to plant a rose garden out here or maybe use part of it for that as a garden for fruits and vegetables, so I don't have to worry about hiding from the deer. The fence is about a little over 5 feet high, so I have seen deer jump over 5-foot high fences, so it doesn't mean it's an immediate protection, but it could be. We'll see. And I'm also thinking about putting out some type of deck, like a 2-foot high deck with sitting chairs and like little plants around it, like a calm area with a water feature to sit and just read. I just don't know yet. I just don't know. Out here this weekend, I'm going to start taking you on some walks with me through the woods, so I can show you some of the things I've been doing out there. I've had my my chainsaw and my hacksaw, and I've just been kind of clearing out some of the paths so that when summer comes, it's not so difficult to walk back there. And I found some interesting things. I actually found a vineyard out there, an old vineyard. So I texted the previous owner. I said, hey, I see grapes growing on the trees. And he said, oh yeah, there used to be a vineyard out there, about 1 acre's worth of vineyards years and years and years ago. And he said, you should go down to the county and try to find some pictures of Old Farmer Road. Your home is in it. So I'm going to go down there and just to find out just what was on this property. Because I found so many interesting things. I found an old Civil War button from a Confederate jacket. And I had to figure out where I put it. I want to show that to you all. It was interesting. And then I went down to the creek. And in the creek, I saw something kind of glittering. I didn't know, I know that the previous owner mentioned that he believed they did mining here a long time ago for gold. And he found a couple of nuggets when he first moved here 20 years ago. But he said he never really bothered to keep looking. But he thinks that if I were really to dedicate myself to searching, I would probably find some more gold nuggets out there in the creek. So before I do that, I am going to go research some county records and find out what's going on with this land, because it's just amazing. So I was talking to my dad, and he said, so what are your plans for all of this? I said, well, I want to create something that people would want to come get married in. Like this space out here is just stunning. Excuse me. And you have the what is that out there? Oh, you have this shooting range right here, and then you can't see it from here, but there's like a little space right there between those trees, and that's where the other shooting range is, about 100 feet out. And this is the area where you can shoot from. So I'm going to remove all of that out the way and set it up somewhere else on the property. And just try to figure out, if I were someone who wanted to get married in somewhere quaint and kind of country-esque, how would I want that to look? Something simple but also usable. And I also want to put things out there that people can lounge in. Like, I was thinking about another water feature, because I have a well out there that we're working on in 2 weeks. And so I'm going to have plenty of water coming from the Yellow River, which is about to my left, about 500 feet. So I'm just trying to figure out what would be practical. I want to be able to lounge back there, have events back there, like family reunions and, birthday parties, and also keep it natural looking so that animals aren't afraid to continue walking through when they're, when I'm not looking, and also just to enjoy the beauty of it. It's a lot to think about, but I have more to tell you. A lot of the work that I've been doing has been inside the house. I had one commenter say, "Where have you been all this time?" And I said, well, I'm doing a lot. I am. Like you've seen the last couple of videos where I'm working with the investment with the duplex, which is my problem child right now, and then working in my tax business. I work full time, and just all these things in between. And I never know if that's boring. Like, I don't want to bore people. So, like, to me, it's just everyday mundane things that I'm doing that for me contributes to the homestead on the back end. And I don't know if that's something people want to see or be a part of. So, they sent me an email and said, yeah, just post it up. You'd be surprised at the mundane things that people want to hear from you. They want to see, because it all shows progress. And they were like, think about this a year from now, how things are going to look, and a year from that, and a year from that. This is the history of your progression on your homestead and all the things that support your homestead that will create the story. So that's another reason why you all have not heard from me. There's so many progressions going on behind the scenes that I don't have time to sit down and just create pretty videos. I watch other homesteading videos and they're so gorgeous, good music and the editing, and everybody's happy and laughing. And when you see me, I'm under a crawl space or I'm out digging dirt. And sometimes most of the time I'm holding the camera. So I don't have the energy afterwards to sit at my computer and edit and clip and all of this other stuff. So I hope these videos have some value to you. I have lots more to say. I know I have a lot of part 1s and part 2s out there. I'm going to spend some time this weekend wrapping up those stories, because I have some more things to tell you. And we'll just take this journey together. I appreciate you all. Bye. See me? All right. Now, I don't know if you can see me. Let me see. Bye.